Not all of our clients are going to be like that, so I didn't want to build a service that made everyone operate the way I choose to behave.
Do you use futures to reduce downside exposure?
I love that. Such a good question. This year, I fully intend to. I didn't understand the value that futures contracts were going to create for this space. I didn't know what they were, right? I didn't know how they operated, so I couldn't bake them into my service. Well, now with futures contracts, for those that aren't aware, that allows you to simply take the revenue that you're going to potentially generate, because we know exactly how many coins based off of the hash rate of your hardware that you're going to create this month, this quarter, or this year. I'm not increasing my revenue in my household, but my electricity bill is going from 150 to 300 to 750 to $1,500 is my local electricity bill. Where am I paying that money from? I've got to sell tokens I'm generating to cover that electricity bill. Futures contracts, I actually don't have to do that anymore. I can theoretically take out a 3-month future contract, cover just enough to cover my electricity for that period, and then I can then capture the rest of my tokens, right? And I can hold on to them because they're valuable and appreciating assets. So that's something that we look at offering our clients, to baking in the service of BitCap as a group. This is what we do. And we actually aid in the taxes. Like when you report at the end of the year, how many tokens have accumulated? We send you that PDF report so you can pass your accountants to make it easier for you to do that. Because don't forget to pay your taxes.
How do you know good tech from bad tech? You mentioned Tron. How would the uninitiated or the person who is not very tech savvy understand what is good tech from bad tech? And on the surface, you would look at Tron and say, well, it has a decent market cap, has a lot of good publicity.
Bullshit. So it does have a market cap, and a lot of that is bot generated out of South Korea, and you can generate a market cap based on false data utilizing bots, and that's what's happening there. Now, how can you tell good tech or bad tech? Here's one way. Go and see if they have a good GitHub. If they don't have a GitHub, Tron doesn't have one, they don't have any software. They're not even developing any software. They're making no effort to develop software. Then take a look at their white paper. And some of the best people in crypto took their white paper apart and found that it was actually a white paper developed exactly word for word from 3 other white papers. So they basically just created a white paper that sounded good. I think at the end of the day, you just have to get around really good people in crypto, because there are so many coins out there that are utter garbage, and people are going to lose a ton of money on them, and that's a sad fact of the space, because it's so hot. You're attracting the little scumbags of the world.
I believe one of the biggest values that we're creating right now is decentralization, right? So existing infrastructural components that govern and administrate society are being disrupted right now. I look at, first and foremost, is a project open? First question, right? To the point that was mentioned, can I look at their GitHub? How many developers do they have contributing to that GitHub account? That tells me if there's a vibrant ecosystem, there's enough people to sustain the bus test. The bus test is if 1 to 2 members of your team were hit by a bus, would the company still survive? Now think about this ecosystem. Will that project survive if one of those developers goes down, right? Can it survive? So I'm looking at projects that have 1,500 plus commits from 35 to 100 plus people. I go, I love this. This is like an entire community is assembling randomly. Like no one's forcing these people to contribute their hours away from their children, right? Like I've got 3 kids. If I'm committing code when my kids are awake, that's because I love it. That's going to survive more than likely, right? So that's how I vet my projects, because I'm so comfortable with the price point, because I go, I'm not in it for the volatility of the price. I've got my assets invested in hardware that will theoretically create a foundation for these ecosystems that are developing for the next 5 years to 10 years of my life. So that's how I make my own personal decisions, and I've kind of built a product or a solution around that. For those that fit that same model, I think it just makes more sense.